welcome back to this Alt Vault Bonanza opening. A quick disclaimer, I had quite a long day at work and I had a headache when I got home, so I kind of had a bit of food and slept it off a little bit, which is why I'm on at these demon hours of almost 4 am. So I'll try and make this as quick as possible. First off, we've got the Warrior, which I'm playing a little bit of arms on. It's pretty bad. Not arms, just my character. I got a bit of a charity key off my brother before the reset, so that's pretty good. Charity starts at home, am I right? So this is the gear 63. I have 3 items from this season. These legs, which are kind of fine, I can convert them. And maybe the 2 worst trinkets of the season. So I feel like we can't really get a bad pull because we've already been there. So let's see what we get. Hopefully just get anything useful. I don't particularly care, if I'm being honest. Cool, some tier shoulders. Well, shoulders I can convert to tier. That'll do me. And a little rookery. Nice. Cool, not too bad actually. I'll do that. I'll do all the converting things later. Next up, we'll do my kind of alt shaman, which I'm going to play Resto on. Partly for fun, because I do quite enjoy Resto. Partly because it's absolutely infuriating not being able to find a healer to do any content with, even if you just want to get a quick weekly 10 on somebody. And maybe with a little bit of foresight that Oracle Desk Priest might hopefully get a big nerf, and I think if it does, Resto Shaman should rise up. It's already super strong in the melee comps because of Sky Fury buff. So we'll do a little fit check when we get to the vault. I'll show you my current gear. It's basically my enhanced gear from last season, so it's decently high, with again this trinket which haunts me. And I just bought some weapons on the auction house before the key because I didn't actually have any weapons at all apart from my 2 enhanced weapons. So yeah, let's just hope we get a bit of useful gear. Yeah, sure, that's alright. I think haste's actually kind of decent. I think really you want to get crit verse, but it's fine to have some haste, so the fact this also has haste on it, I think we count that as a win. And a Theatre of Pain. I like Theatre. There we go, the Project Resto Shaman and Arms Warriors are off to a good start. So we'll do my Ret Paladin now, which just has one choice on it as well because I'm kinda not really feeling Ret. I think the whole 30 seconds wings thing, it's not really for me, but I like the spec enough to like keep kind of playing it and keeping it somewhat up to date. I played an absolute ton of it in season 3. Managed to get the title back then, and I think I've got a little bit of a hangover from that still. Like, as much as I enjoy it, I played it to death in that season, and the fact is it's doing 30 seconds wings, which kind of puts me off of it, and those 2 things combined make me kind of like, I don't care that much. This is the gear just now, nearly 650. I've got 2 set, I believe, yeah. So kind of just wanting to fill out the tier, or maybe get a big off piece like a bell, or maybe a neck, a ring. I don't really care, to be honest. We'll see what we get. Of course, my best friend, Remnant of Darkness, which I already use. That's going to be a quick coins angle. I'm so sick of this. I see it every week on at least one character. So we'll just take the coins. That's whatever. Workshop. Yeah, this character's slowly dying off every week because I get kind of bad items, and every key I seem to get is a workshop. We'll persevere a little bit though, and we'll get it looking good once the patch hits. If dinars are coming out, if they're even still a thing, which I hope they are, we'll get some pretty nice gear and we'll have some fun with it. I do kind of want to try out Holy though. I think Holy's a little bit of a sleeping giant, but again, Oracle Disc just has such a chokehold on the meta that no one's going to play anything other than that for the foreseeable future until it receives some heavy nerfs, and even then PI and Mind Soothe might be enough to keep it around. The DK got nice boots last week and it has one piece of tier. It only has one choice from the vault, but at 642 can't really go wrong, but ideally we get a little piece to convert for tier and we're happy. So, oh Jesus, yeah, I'm just taking coins. I just have no time for these trinkets. Yeah, that's sometimes what happens if you do one choice, so you just got to take your medicine. And a Priory, yeah, oof. I also don't like Pug and Priory. Another character slowly dying off. So every character from now on has 2 or 3 choices. So we'll do the Prot Paladin. It has 2 choices, but I really don't care about this character. It usually vaults something pretty solid though. Honestly only just do it to play it to tank other people's keys, help some friends out if they need to reroll to an easier weekly, because I find it's actually quite difficult, especially for like workshop, Priory a little bit, Theatre of Pain sometimes, and what are the other dungeons we even have? Yeah, I would say Workshop, sometimes Theatre of Pain, Floodgate can be at times. They're all kind of a nightmare to pug. Priories, like people want their trinkets, so they kind of queue into it, but they're just so annoying to pug. I feel like if you get one of those keys on a character that's relatively new, who has no real score and no real eye level, people don't want to play with you. But if you get a Dark Flame Cleft, everyone queues in it because they just want a quick key. So I just use this character to let people use my key and reroll theirs. So the quick fit check is 654. I've got 4 set. I've got kind of okay trinkets. I'm probably going to go, I guess we'll steal Prot loot spec for the tank trinket from Priory, but I might eventually make this a Holy Paladin a little bit. But we'll see what we get. I'm not overly fussed about this character. Oh my god, like, am I just getting trinkets or what's going on? I mean, that's completely hideous, so... Easiest coins of my life. And Cinder Brew as well, that's kinda... It's kinda alright. We'll go disc next, sure. Because of the time, I've got a little cup of tea to kind of keep me going, so if you hear me slurping along, that's why. But so far, it feels like I've myself not had a vault on most of the characters because they're just getting the worst trinkets. I feel like Melee every season have some hideous strength trinkets or agility trinkets. I just don't know why they even bother putting them in the game. Okay, so do a little fit check on the disc. 653. I've not converted these from last week, and I've got one piece of tier. I honestly don't really care what I get. Just something usable will be good. Hell yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty good ring. I can actually have this on, yeah. Oh, I'm going to lose that speed, but that's okay. Sacrifices. Motherload. Cool. Yeah, it's just crazy how you can sometimes just feel like you can't get tier at all. And then other characters are just blessed. It is what it is, but so far I feel like I just got that same ring a couple of times and awful trinkets. So this druid, my feral, has 3 choices, so I'll leave that till later on. We'll do my Windwalker now. It's also got 0 tier pieces, but I do have a couple of pieces that I could convert if I really wanted to, that I've kind of just gathered from filling the vault last week. I'm not sure what its eye level is. It's quite low. Probably 640. So yeah, 641 with some. That's quite a decent trinket, but that's a terrible trinket from last season. So honestly, a bit of tier or feet, or I got bracers last week, got neck the week before. I feel like I'm due for a bit of tier, surely. Right? Blizzard? Ooh. Ooh, the worst bit of tier or this trinket, which I think is pretty good for everybody. Do a quick check, but I'm pretty sure it's just a trinket angle. Yeah, it's a good passive trinket. We just take it. Move on. The wait for tier continues, but that's alright. Motherload, nice. I'll just put that on. I'll put that on for my trinket from last season. Nice. Couple eye levels there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I could pair that with House of Cards and Zuen with the new talent. Or not a new talent, but a reworked talent, Zuen's Bond. Just gives you a flat 30-second reduction paired with Storm, Ice and Fire. Windwalker plays on like a 90-second cooldown window now, so House of Cards is kind of the ideal trinket for you. So a good passive to pair with that is probably Sephorium. So that's a pretty nice pull. We'll do my Warlock next because it's already got 4 mythic tier pieces, so I'm kind of lucked out on this. So I wouldn't be surprised if I get a bit of a garbage piece. I would like the 5th tier piece, which is the chest on mythic, but I'll take anything that's pretty solid. A good ring, a good belt or boots. I actually played One Keys Athlete this week, and let me tell you, I had such a good time. It's super fast. Like the tier set gives you 12% haste, and then your UA spreads to 2 other targets. It's absolutely wild, and with Bloodlust and PI, you can do some really impressive damage. So I think I'm going to play Athlete a little bit more seriously this season. And when I get a bit bored of it, I'll play Demo because I also really enjoy that. But we're 646.5 eye level. Got the 4 mythic tier pieces, so anything other than a doubler on those slots is probably good. I could do with another trinket, and I would take the mythic chest, so we'll see what we loot. But I feel like the luck's been pretty good so far in this. It's probably just bracers, see what they convert to. Oh, they convert to haste verse as well. Soul Letting Ruby's really not my kind of thing. What's with the trinkets? I really don't want to take the ruby. To be honest, I don't really want to take the bracers either. I think I'm just going to take coins and socket my helm the next time I have a bit of a bad vault. It's a bit of a shame, Theor Pain, so yeah, it's kind of going to happen though, like getting 4 different mythic tier pieces 4 weeks in a row is kind of wild, so it was always going to happen, you get a bad week. I'll do my Mistweaver next, which has also got 2 choices. It's got 4 sets, 3 of those pieces are mythic, so I'd happily take the other piece mythic, or I would take a nice off piece. To be honest, I'd take that ring that I got on my priest and my shaman. I'd take that on my Mistweaver because it's also really nice. I think it's the heaviest haste ring of the season from Dungeons, so again, I've got quite solid pulls on this for the first few weeks, so kind of not really aiming for much. But it's 654, so we'll see what we can do. The chest, which is the piece I don't have a mythic, so it's probably this. Or a belt, which would be a huge upgrade for me. And it converts to crit haste. Ooh. That's a good belt. I think I just want to take the tier though. I've got no other coins. I think I just want to take the tier, to be honest. The belt is obviously brilliant, especially because it's such a high eye level right now. I'd be gaining 23 eye levels off the bat, but I am sitting on, after this week, 2 sparks that I could just craft 2 items. I think in my mind you always want to get your tier mythic and then you work from there, because you could just craft something at 675 with whatever stats you want. So for me, I think mythic tier chests is better than the belt, but I'm not entirely convinced. Floodgate's alright, but that's 4 out of 4 mythic pieces now, so that is really nice. I just need to get shoulders because I still got last season's, but that's a big turn up. So next we can go back to Mage, which has 2 set at the moment, and I played a few keys on it this week as Arcane. I don't think I touched Fire or Frost, and I love Arcane. I think it's brilliant. I think it's such a unique damage profile that you almost do 0 AoE at all, ever, but you can completely demolish one target if you have all your cooldowns. Does quite impressive single target. So I'm kind of hoping to get the 4 set and see what I can do. The gear's really not great. I converted these a couple of days ago, just because I was sitting on quite a few charges. So chest or gloves would complete the 4 set, so I think that's what the ambition is. We'll see what we get. Anything else though is kind of okay if it's an upgrade. chest piece, yeah, it's one of the ones we need, so it's a pretty safe pick. It's cool, so that's 4 set unlocked on the mage. Theatre of Pain. That'll be a lot of fun to play this week. Even just getting the extra intellect from the gear. Yeah, it's like 1 eye level. Get enchanted later on. I've not got very many gilded on this, but I've got 3 sparks once I get the half spark this week. So the mage should get a massive injection of eye level. I've just got to play it enough to like get enough gilded, but that's looking really good. That's a great pull, probably the best one so far. So I think we'll go Demon Hunter next, and then that leaves my 2 druids and my elemental shaman, which have 3 choices each. So the Demon Hunter has 2 set right now, and it's got 1 good trinket. It's got a Sephorium. So I'm kind of just looking to complete the 4 set, which is all I seem to talk about, because for me, you just got to get your 4 tier pieces on Mythic. Ideally, the 4 with your best stats, or the stats that you're at least seeking, and then you can work your gear around the rest of it with crafts and the dinars that should be coming with the patch. And before you know it, you're geared. So I'm at 650. My gear's kind of okay. I do have these legs that I can convert, but I don't have a single chest piece, or I don't have a single shoulder piece, so I'd happily take either of those as tier. Let's see what we get. Hopefully not coins. Yeah, brilliant. Chest piece. That's exactly what we want. So I could convert those legs. I should have plenty of charges. So I should be able to get 4 set. I'm just going to double check quickly. Yeah, I've got 3 charges, so that is awesome. So that's another 4 set done for now. Just got to try and snag the legs or shoulders on Mythic. I think the gloves are the worst piece, but unfortunately that's one of the ones we've got. So the shoulders are crit mastery and the legs are crit mastery, so ideally you'd play helm, shoulders, chest, legs, and get an off piece for the gloves that are stats that you really want, because crit's nice but verse is kinda wasted. Havoc's extremely tanky as it is, but I'm happy with that. So next we'll go to the Boomy, which is 2 set. It's also, you guessed it, chasing 4 set. This is a character I'll probably take quite serious this season. I think Boomy's exceptionally strong, especially if the person playing it is a semi-good player, because its damage profile's really good. Having 90-second cooldown, pairing it with like House of Cards, you're really strong every 90 seconds. You've got mass AoE, you can weave your cooldowns in between and around people who've got bigger cooldowns, elemental 3 minutes, or if you play with like a 1 minute class, you can just, or a 2 minute class even, you can just offset your cooldowns, and with having 2 charges you can do a big pull when everyone uses their cooldowns, and then when your elemental doesn't have its 3 minutes, halfway you can throw your other celestial alignment in, and it's just so nice. It's so nice to play with. Mark of the Wild's the most broken buff as well, so Druid's super sought after. So right now I'm at 650, and it's gloves, shoulders or legs would be the tier pieces would be aiming to hit. Ideally not gloves, because I could probably just convert these. But I've got 3 choices, so I'm quite hopeful. Let's see. Oh my gosh. That's horrific. That's kind of interesting though. Hmm. Interesting. I feel like you probably want to run Mugsies, and you probably want to run House of Cards. So anything else feels like a little bit pointless. And Avoidance is really nice, but I don't think it's nice enough to take this. It's pretty sad. I think I'm taking Bracers from 3 choices when I'm missing so many main pieces, and I will also lose Leech. Oh, this probably couldn't have been much worse. Ooh, Bracers are such a nice craft piece as well. So right now I'm sitting on, with this week's half spark, I'll be on 2 sparks. I've not got that much gilded, but if I farm a little bit of gilded, I'd probably craft a cloak and probably Bracers. Maybe a belt at a push. That's a stinking vault. I feel like no matter what I take, I'll probably not be very happy. Might be time just to cash in on the coins for a socket. 6, 7, 8 Bracers. I could just craft a belt, craft a cloak. I think the belt for Druid's quite poor. It's crit mash race. It's alright. The Blaziken Wax is quite a solid trinket, but I know that in the long run I just won't use it. But I have heard rumblings that the dinars aren't even going to be coming. So that's also quite worrying, that if the dinars don't come, I'll wish that I took this. But if they do come, I'll probably just would rather have the Bracers. I think we just take the Bracers. Avoidance is nice, but doesn't matter. I've got probably an Oracle Disc Priest, so they'll keep me alive. A Workshop as well. Oh, that's just so bad all round. Gives me 0.44 of an eye level. Jesus. Well, the wait continues. Hopefully hit one of the big tier pieces next week. I'll probably do 3 choices again, because I kind of need to farm the gilded as it is. 300 off cap, 290 off cap. That was awful though. Okay. Redemption time. It's Feral Druid, which is also a contender for something I'd quite like to play. I think Feral, Boomy, Elemental, Windwalker, possibly a Warlock spec are like the ones I'm kind of eyeing up. But I'm not against maybe playing Unholy or Resto Shaman. They're just lagging behind in gear massively that I kind of can't be bothered. But the patch will change everything. If you still have to have the gilded sitting there, and then you could craft your most of your items. So the Feral's actually quite geared, considering it's got a 610 helm. I think that's really the aim from this vault, is probably a Sephorium trinket or a helm. Either of those would be amazing. A belt converts to crit mastery, which is also kind of good, but I really, really want a helm. It will complete the 4 set and get rid of the worst eye level piece. Triple ring. I mean, is this for real? Is this actually happening? Triple ring. I just don't even know. Oh god. Weirdly, this one I think is the best because you kind of do want haste as Feral, but that's a lot of mastery. A lot of mastery, which I'm kind of lacking. I think we just take this ring. Oh, that feels so bad. Oh, 3 choices is a myth. I just. How can this be your vault? Oh. Okay, let me quickly check something. That's unbelievable that you can invest so much time into doing 8 keys and you get 3 of the same item slot. I mean, that just can't be. I mean, if people, if Cersei's circlet stays the best ring, you only want one more ring, and for sure you'll play Jastors. So taking a ring is pointless, really. I actually think I'm just convinced myself to just take the coins, and when I eventually vault a helm at Mythic, I can just suck at it. Because this ring is not going to make my life much better for a few weeks until the dinars come, which they should come, but I'm not sure. There's not been that much chatter about them. But these rings are. That's. I feel a bit sick. That's unbelievable. So I think we're on the last character now. This has been pretty shambolic. So, elemental shaming for the last character, which has 3 choices as well, so probably get like 3 cloaks or something. Oh my days. That's crazy. But it kind of just reinforces the point that I always try and make, that really you just want to hit tier and maybe one trinket. The rest of the stuff doesn't matter. You're gonna. The circlet's probably going to stay the best ring for most people, and you're probably going to buy Jastors on most people. You're probably going to buy 1 to 2 raid trinkets on most people with the dinars. And the rest of the stuff you can just craft to whatever stats your heart desires. The only stuff that's set in stone is you need 4 tier pieces. So I'd love the Helm on Mythic, or there's Haste Mastery legs from Motherlode that I would also love. Maybe a Mythic track feet, or a Mythic track. I mean, really, I don't really want a ring, so I'll get Jaster's Mythic belt, maybe. It feels like we're fifth vault in or something. I'm already like scrambling for what I want, because really I'm kind of feel like I'm geared. Just need to. I've got a lot of gilded, so I just need the dinars and a couple of more sparks, and all of a sudden I'll be 674 or something. So I think we're really just aiming for Chester Helm or something exceptional with maybe avoidance on it or something. I mean, that is all pretty solid. Ooh, Priory Signet. I do have House of Cards though, so kind of like makes me lean away from taking the trinket. This is quite a hard call, I think. I do think this is better than House of Cards because it is straight up more stats. Because right now, this is a variance of 7.7 to 9.4 mastery, and also because I'm in diminishing returns for my mastery, once this is used, I do take a 10% hit on it. Because I'm right at the cusp of diminishing returns for mastery. The Priory, I would also hit diminishing returns, but I could move some stats around, and because it's a 2-minute cooldown, it pairs much better with playing a 2-minute Ascendance build. I'm a 3-minute believer, but there is value in playing 2 minutes, certainly for some keys, or depending on your comp. The feet are obviously really good. I am quite tempted. I feel like I wouldn't mind crafting feet. It doesn't bother me to craft feet, but the legs are just awful stats, but they are a huge upgrade. This is quite tough. It's between feet and the trinket. I think I'd probably go for the trinket. I will lose mastery once I get rid of this. Probably for the Cinderbrew neck. That'll bump the haste up. So haste not as important on this. I think it's just Priory Trinket. Oh. It feels good, but I definitely have a better taste in my mouth because half of these vaults have just been they've just been rings or trinkets, and most of the time a bad trinket. Pretty weak opening all round. I think long term this is obviously like a really nice pool, but right now it doesn't feel that great. I'm gonna have to get up to date on the Gilded. I'll get a few crafts in. Hopefully hit a neck and a helm in the next few weeks. I'll probably craft legs, and I'll probably craft bracers, and then I'm kind of looking really strong for the patch, which I'll fill out my ring with Jastors and my second trinket with Mugsies, and I'll be looking exceptionally strong, ready to play some serious keys. But that was a really underwhelming half hour or so. It's quite like you put so much effort into doing all these keys. Not that the tens are hard, but it's a big time investment, and you get triple ring. I mean, what's all that about? But maybe that's just what happens when you play at Demon Hours. So that'll be quite a sad ending to that video. It's like 40 minutes long, which is bit poor from my part. Maybe I could have went a bit quicker, but I'll fill out the both druids, and the shaman probably 3 choices again this week, just to try and snag one of the big pieces that I need in. And then in a couple of weeks, when the patch comes, that's when all the characters will get fully fleshed out. They'll be reaching their final form, and we can do some really nice keys. I'll start playing with my team again, because right now we just cap 10s. Like, I think the highest key we've done is like 11 or 12. Just playing on different characters, most of the time pretty under geared. So I'm excited to start pushing, and then we can maybe move the content into maybe doing some videos on push keys, or like tips, or maybe specs that are less seen. Like, I wouldn't mind doing a little Affliction Warlock push. I'm gonna, like, I've got a few name changes, faction changes, race changes sitting from about 7 or 8 months ago. So I'm thinking about using a couple of those and kind of reinventing a character and I'm removing it from my Raids.io account so that it's not got like my previous season's score. So I'll kind of be a bit of an unknown, and maybe seeing if I could take like Affliction or Feral or whatever to some push keys and see how far I can get, like with no kind of help. Just maybe pushing my own key, or just playing with a couple of friends, or we'll see how it goes. Kind of still, I've got a few ideas, but I'm kind of still thinking in my head like what I kind of plan to do. But for now, it's just going to be another couple of weeks of vaults, hopefully far better than this. But the real content will start in maybe, let's say, 4 weeks time, once I get a dinar or two. I kind of want to be fully geared before I really start pushing, because right now it feels kind of pointless because I'm not even 660, so I'm about 20 eye levels off being max gear, and I want to change quite a few of my stats and things, and I want to wait out, see if there's maybe nerfs to Oracle Disc and things before we settle on like a comp, because quite a few of us play multiple things, and I kind of want to play whatever is the strongest fit for what the other guys choose. So I'm kind of waiting on seeing what everyone quite enjoys and seeing what they feel comfortable playing. So that'll be it for now. I'll do another Vault video for the next few weeks, and then we'll do some big boy content. So if you manage to stick this 40 odd minute video out, then I applaud you, and we'll do it again next week, but hopefully much shorter. So thank you for watching, and hope you had some good vaults. Hopefully mine's are better next week. So if you feel bad, just remember my triple ring pool. So yeah, right, I'm way to bed because it's now 4:30 in the morning. So I shall see you guys next video. That's right. Adios.